All right, y'all, welcome back to Honeycomb Hollow. We're going to do a greenhouse tour. Let's get to it. All right, so here we are at the greenhouse, and we're going to go ahead and start with the stuff on the outside. So what's in here?
This is the pumpkin plant that's only been in there for 2 weeks maybe. I think it grows like crazy.
Yeah, it looks good. Got little spikies on it.
The reason you see white on it is because I put some diatomaceous earth on it the other day because there were little beetles all over it. And there were also things on the underside of the leaves.
Yeah.
But then I kind of rinsed it off the next day. See them over there?
It looks good. What are these? What are these, gnats?
Yes. So for that, I'm going to come back through and spray some neem oil on the leaves.
Okay. So like this white stuff here, that's diatomaceous earth?
Yes.
Okay.
What you see planted all around this is lettuce. So I moved all our lettuce into this bin to try to refresh it, so I cut the tops off all of them and let them regrow. Well, the first few times we ate it, it was delicious, but then it turned bitter and haven't been able to get rid of it yet.
You say delicious. I say it was average. Then it got very bitter.
Look at the table. So over here is the baby cilantro, and it's my second attempt. The first attempt did not sprout at all.
Right there?
Yes. Well, there's something else back there in the back. I'm not quite sure what that is yet.
A little round one. Yeah.
I got a couple of...
What's this here?
Those are carrots.
Oh.
So the carrots were in the metal corrugated aluminum beds, and the soil wasn't deep enough for the carrots to grow. Supposed to move the vegetables that grow underground, but it was either not have carrots at all or try to allow it to grow some carrots. So I moved them over here.
Yeah.
They seem to be doing okay.
A little brown on the edges here, but...
Well, it did traumatize them a little bit by moving them.
What's this? Onion?
That's another carrot. I just have to cut all the brown off of it.
Oh, this got no leaves.
Right, so I don't know if it's going to even make it.
Got it.
This is another pumpkin plant. It's not growing as fast as the one over there, and I haven't figured out why yet. It may have something to do with the peroxide water, which stimulates root growth.
Yeah.
So you mix the peroxide with the water in a pitcher or something and then water your plants with it to stimulate root growth. These are radishes, which have been growing nicely, I think.
So what were you telling me about hydrogen peroxide is what?
Yes, you're giving the plant extra oxygen.
Okay.
And you're not supposed to, you have to dilute it or it'll kill your plant.
Oh, this box looks horrible.
This is my nursing home.
What is that vine? We'll start with that.
That is cantaloupes that were not doing well. I moved them over here. All the leaves died, so I cut the leaves off. But there were still some flowers.
I see them.
So I decided to leave it in here to see if anything would happen. There's
still some leaves over there, too.
There's a little fruit here.
Yeah.
So we're just going to see, what happens. I didn't want to just throw it in the trash. You know me, I don't throw anything away.
And what is over here? This looks like carrots.
Those are carrots that did not transfer well. I haven't finished cutting the brown off of those, but I don't know if they're going to make it.
A little wilty.
Pay them a little extra attention. Yeah, this one, was pretty much dead when I put it here, and it started growing some new leaves and stuff.
Why are you not putting it in the dirt?
I don't want it to get. I want it to get sunshine up here. And when I water it, I don't want it to sit in the water and get soggy and mildew.
Huh. Okay.
These are tomato plants. These are baby tomato plants that I pulled out of the bottom of the big tomato plants we're about to look at. They weren't getting any sun down there.
Are they doing good?
I just moved them yesterday, so I don't know yet.
Now behind these here, you got some corn growing.
Yeah, and it was looking really good until this morning I came out and there's a lot of yellow on it.
Well, that one there is very nice. It's 6.5 feet tall. Very nice looking.
It looked beautiful.
You putting diatomaceous earth on this too?
You see some on here because there were ants or some kind of critters crawling down into where the leaves connect.
Right.
So I sprinkled that in there. And I've been trying to spray
Yeah.
neem oil on it every few days. Like I said, it seemed like it was doing good for about a week, and now all of a sudden the leaves are yellow, and I think it may be because the sun hasn't been shining this last week.
Well, it has to, the roots have to get established. And I don't know how this ground is down here. It's very rocky. You see, in corn, I don't know the names of this, so I'm not an expert. But each one of these deals, you can see it wraps around. Now there's another one, and now there's another one, and now there's another one. It gets getting fatter and fatter because the outside grows to here, then this outside grows to here. Each one of these has a root system down there.
Yeah.
So there's a root system for this one, this one, this one. Each one of these has a root system down there.
Look at this one just died off. Oh, well, there's a new one growing.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some hope.
Yeah, still growing. So it's got to establish the roots. It might be too late in the year for it, but we'll see. I mean, this year is a tester anyway for everything.
It's a learning experience.
Because of how long it took us to get started.
And this, you can see I mixed in the dirt that it came from.
Peat. Is that peat moss?
Well, this is the dirt that I took it out of.
Oh.
I made sure to fill it in here and mix it in with this ground dirt that we have.
And the dirt we have has got some nutrients, but it's also a lot of clay too.
Yeah, it's really heavy.
And you got a couple here looking kind of nice too.
A couple of baby ones. I don't know why those are red, but maybe they're supposed to be. I don't know.
Maybe.
I was going to put the rest of the corn here. Haven't dug it up yet.
Okay. What's this?
That's chia plants. So remember the chia sprouts we had that we dumped in here from
So what can you do with chia?
You can actually eat the leaves of it when it's young, put them in salad. The bigger ones, if you look back by
We'll get over there.
the cantaloupe, there's a giant one that's like 4 foot
Well,
tall.
what can you use it for?
Well, I fed some to the chickens. So the big
Chickens,
giant
okay.
ones I fed to the chickens. The young ones we can eat.
Okay.
But the sprouts, I have to look up how the seeds. I haven't seen any seeds.
Okay.
I would love to have some seeds off of it to make new sprouts.
All right, so
here's
some
the
more
rest of
corn.
the corn.
Yep.
That I'm going to transplant
Not
over
the rest
there.
of. You got more on the other side too.
No, that's it.
Oh, the tall one. That's it.
That's the tall one.
Oh, okay. You moved it.
So these are going to move over there by the other corn. These are peppers that were small.
You got some kind of little black dots in there. I don't know what those are. They might just be dead. Oh, that was a spider or
Gnats
something.
and stuff, yeah.
It felt like it was.
The whole bug situation, I'm really trying to learn and get a handle on that because there is a million different kinds of bugs out here.
We're in the middle of the woods, so it's very difficult, but we're going to manage.
And
Everybody
I
else
also
manages.
don't want to kill the bugs that are good.
Well, we also want
ladybugs.
to try and stay as organic as possible. You know, why we use stuff
I
like
have not used any-
diatomaceous earth and neem oil.
I have not used any chemicals.
So you got some, no chemicals. So you got some peppers over here. You know what kind?
I don't know what kind, but I moved them when they were tiny, like 2 or 3 inches tall. So they've been growing. I've seen white flowers on some of these. So I think they're going to grow.
And this looks like garlic.
This is that mammoth garlic.
Mammoth garlic.
That your brother-in-law gave us.
Right. From
And I'm
West
not
Virginia.
sure, if you look down here, I'm not sure of when it's ready to harvest. I thought it was going to be in the fall.
My mom says this garlic is just delicious.
Yeah.
She says she loves it. What about this here?
Those are peppers also.
Okay. Doing good. This is a nice little box you have built over here. I like
Well,
it. That's a weed?
Those are weeds. These are, I was going to feed to the chicken if it actually comes back to life.
You're growing weeds.
There's a lot of weeds you can feed to your chickens for treats.
Moving on.
More peppers.
More peppers. We love peppers.
These are sliced tomatoes. Okay, I saw somebody online
Yeah, let's do it.
grow.
It's an experiment.
This is gross.
So we got something under here. Nice.
Yeah, so I don't think those are going to work because they got fuzz on them.
Well, let's let it go. That
But-
fuzz might work.
What I think
Are you sure
happened,
you're supposed to put a cover over it?
You are, to keep the moisture
Okay.
in. But the sun is also supposed to be shining, and it's not been shining.
Yeah, it's a cloudy day.
There's a purslane.
What is that?
Purslane.
Purslane.
So that's a weed.
And
It's
you want that in there?
It's a succulent weed. I actually want to move it over there with the rest of my purslane.
Okay.
That's a tomato. These are tomatoes that I
I see
took
some
out.
onions in there.
So I pulled all of our onions and we've been eating them, but I left these ones in there because they were so tiny. There's no leaves on top. I mean, there's no stalks hardly. Whoops.
Uh-oh. Put it back in there.
The only part that matters on the onion, from what I understand, is these roots on the bottom. The bulb is supposed to be sticking out.
Yeah.
But since there's no green stalk, I don't even know if this, you know,
well, we'll see.
Are they getting any sunshine?
Let nature take its course. We got a nice little harvest from those, the last batch you got.
Why are you showing my taco tattoo?
Because it's a taco. I'm kind of hungry.
God gave us tacos on the 8th day.
You should color that in and put some cheese on that taco. All right, so enough with the weeds.
Okay, so
now,
researching
underneath
to find
the
out
mimosa tree, the big, beautiful mimosa tree.
Which are also edible, by the way.
Beautiful tree. This is your, what are you calling this area?
This is the bee buffet.
The bee buffet.
It's just getting started. I have lots of things here that bees like that have not all flowered yet, but they're going to be blues and purples and white.
Well, there was flowers.
Where?
I mean, at one time, those bees were covering this whole area.
Oh, yeah. They love the water dish, which we're going to hang up. There's going to be a hanging water dish here, which is that.
Yep.
The bees have been swarming over here. And they are crawling around in the plants.
Look at a spider. Oh, it's not a spider. It's a bee. What is that? What kind of bee is that?
We have bald-faced hornets, which...
I'll let it land.
Yep, that's a bald-faced hornet.
Ooh-wee. I thought it was a spider at first, and I saw the wings and it flew.
They have a white face, so they kind of look like a skeleton, a skull or something. They're really cool.
That's called a bald-faced hornet?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to mess with it.
That's what I call bald-faced. Hey, get out of there.
Ozzy, get out of there. So we have frogs living in our bee buffet, which I think is awesome. There's frogs jumping everywhere over here.
It's cool. They love this bucket for some reason. I've got one out and put it up over here on the wood, and it just jumped right back in.
They love that wet dirt in the cover.
Yeah.
This is clover, actually, white clover right here.
It's healthy looking.
This is called...
There's Chia right here. Isn't that Chia?
No, that's going to be ground cover with tiny white flowers on it, and some of them died because it got so hot a couple weeks ago. But I'm hoping it'll fill in.
What are you doing back there, Ozzy? What you doing
Come
back
here,
there?
Ozzy. Quit trying to chase the frogs.
Get away from me, dummy.
He
Don't
loves
sting me.
the frogs and the skinks.
What's this metal thing over here?
Nothing yet, but it's gonna have plants on it at some point.
Well, this is a nice area. I like this, and the bees do love it. Right now it's cloudy, so you're not going to see any bees at all. They're all just going to stay in their hive today. We have Italian bees, and they will not fly on cloudy days. Most bees don't, but Italians definitely do not fly on cloudy days.
Look at these little plants. So I don't know which ones are which, but there's bachelor buttons. Morning glories are the climbing vine.
Yep.
We have a grape that I put over here that's hopefully will go here. Yeah.
Yeah. So the bees, they really do like this area, and it's excellent to keep the bees in your garden for pollination.
And it's just getting fixed up. It's not done.
All right. So we just built this a couple days ago. This is our very first one and only blueberry bush, plant, tree, whatever you want to call it. Don't look like much right now, but this was Rhonda's design, and this was definitely something you created in your brain.
So, yeah.
And we put together you just cut these right out of the woods.
I'm going to wrap rusty barbed wire around the poles at the top and clip the tips off of it and use that to have some climbing
things
around.
Yeah.
To make
well, we need to probably put a net around the whole thing.
I was thinking about that.
You can probably get, if you measure these across at probably 36 inches, call them 3 foot. So you got 3 foot across, and you got let's call it 6 foot down. So right there you got 9 feet. So if you get like a 10 by 10 or a 12 by 12 would probably be better. Yeah. A 10 by 10 or 12 by 12 net, very inexpensive on Amazon, and just toss it right over the top of this thing. You just let it hang here. You can even tie it down here at the bottom if you want. But you need to keep the birds and the critters away from this. Otherwise, they will eat the blueberries all day.
I'm definitely going to hang the reflective ribbon around here that flaps in the wind and scares things away.
So are you planning on getting like 4 more of these bushes and putting them in the corners?
Yes.
So this would be a
There'll
whole
one in each corner
blueberry
also,
thing here.
but this one is like our practice plant.
Right. Because blueberries are very difficult to grow.
It was making blueberries when we first got it, one at a time.
Oh yeah, I ate a handful. They were good.
And then it developed this rust that you see on it.
Yep.
The red.
Too much rain?
It's the pH level of the soil.
Oh.
Most likely.
Well, our pH...
So.
Hey, Ozzy. Leave the frog alone.
Come here. Who wants this frog?
Hey, you don't want to eat one of them things. They're nasty. You got to cook them first.
Gross.
Tell you what, you catch them, I'll cook them.
So our pH meter
It's
kept
broken.
Not moving, saying the pH is super high. And the needle wasn't moving, so I was checking all the other dirt, and the needle never moved. So I did what I told you. I got a cup of vinegar, and I stuck the pH meter into the vinegar, and the needle moved. So it's working.
Oh, it is working.
So the solution, I've been putting coffee grounds. I put nitrogen, plant food, which is supposed to help, and none of that has seemed to help. So I looked online, and it told me I could mix vinegar into some water in that sprayer that you bought me, that pump sprayer.
Yeah.
And I can spray it every week or so.
Just not on
and that will help drop the pH, which will help this rust go away.
All right, so more weeds, obviously. Yes,
and these have seeds on them. Aren't they pretty?
Hopefully they'll be good for something. But as we come around here, here's another bee waterer. There's no water in it right now, but it goes quick.
I don't know what those holes are. I didn't make those.
Oh, probably some kind of a bug. Bee something.
Yeah. So skip that
More
one.
weeds.
This is the purslane that I've transplanted, which is considered a weed.
Yep.
It has medicinal
What can you do with it? What's the reason why you're keeping purslane?
Because I can eat it. It's delicious.
You're gonna eat it and eat a weed?
I'll eat it right now.
It's gonna be nasty.
It's good. It's crunchy. It'd be good in salad. Chickens eat it. It has medicinal value for your skin and your hair, and it's other things too. I just don't remember what they are.
All right, let's get to some of these cool ones here.
This is called purslane lookalike. You see how similar it looks?
Yep.
This one is succulent.
Yeah.
This one is not. This has red stems, thick red stems. This does not.
And they have medicinal purposes?
This will make you sick.
Oh,
so
nice.
I purposely left it here so I could teach people that.
Okay.
Don't eat the one that's not succulent.
All right, so what do we have here?
This is more cantaloupes.
So these are
cantaloupes. A little baby.
And they come all the way around here, and they're looking a little yellow back in there, but still.
I am, look at this.
What is it?
I am looking up online to find out what that is, but I think it may be where I sprayed that peppermint oil.
Didn't like it, did it? You
No,
purposely
it did not.
keeping it on the grass?
Yes, it grows out. Look at it.
I know, but it isn't going dirt?
It will. I'm going to come through and trim all this grass out and put some mulch or something in there. I'm sitting those on top of things to hold them up so they're not hanging.
Yeah, I don't know if this metal here is going to cut it.
It'll be alright, as long as I got this here. When it gets bigger, I'll probably
well,
move it
I'm not
over
just
here.
worried about the weight. I'm worried about like wind moving it back and forth and scraping the green.
Chopping it in half.
Yeah. Just the only thing I'd worry about. But yeah, you got it good. Don't
Let me move it over here.
mess it up. Do your
Oh,
thing.
you have a good point.
That's just
That's one I cut
that's an
off.
electrician's thing. You got wires are up against any kind of metal. If there's any possibility of moving them, they will eventually cut through. That looks pretty nice. What do you got in here?
This is mostly peppers that I took out of the pepper bin inside. It was overcrowded.
That's a pepper?
Yes, I think that might be the dragon pepper. I need
That's
to take
cool.
a picture of it.
That looks hot.
Pull it off there.
It's very hard. No way. But it is waxy. Are you sure it's not ready to harvest?
Maybe.
It's
see how different the plant is, though?
It's hard as a rock. That's usually when
If
they're
I
ready.
saw this without peppers on it, I think it's not a pepper plant, but it's growing peppers. I can't get a clear shot.
Yeah.
There.
Let's find out about that. If it's ready to harvest, I'll eat it.
There's some more in there. There's a tomato plant right in the middle of that.
This one here?
So when I was going through the tomato bins, I was trying to thin it out a little bit because it was overcrowded and I just didn't have a lot of places to put them. So there's tomato plants just stuck in different places.
Look at all these melons.
That's what she said.
So, are these, you're saying these are cantaloupes?
Yes.
They do feel a little rough. Maybe they're going to get that rough outside, you know, at some point, but they look like melons to me. I mean, I know cantaloupe is a melon, but this looks like some sort of melon to me.
Definitely. So the little flowers, see the fuzzy in the middle? The little, they turn into these.
Yeah.
Which turn into
the fruit,
the melons. So when I see these, I try to keep them off the ground so they don't get too wet and rotten, and will grow into a melon.
Mm-hmm. You should probably, now is probably a good time to actually build a raised bed out here off of this one. Doesn't have to attach to it. It could be just like, actually, do you have any more of these plastic things?
No,
these
we
are
need
nice.
to get some more of those.
What's this tall one here?
That's more chia plants. That's the one I was going to tell you earlier. That's a chia plant from the seeds that we dumped out here. Yesterday, I cut down about 4 of these and fed them to the chickens. One thing I wanted to say about these, and most people probably know this already, but every time I come out to water, I turn it just a little bit. You got to be really careful not to over twist.
Break them, yeah.
But turn it a little bit and don't let the same side sit on the ground all the time.
What does it do for it? Helps it be more round?
It keeps it from getting rotten.
Rotten? What is that?
Something
Getting
ate
eaten.
it
Yeah.
so much. This came out of the aluminum raised bed. And
Yeah,
I
ate it all
I
up.
still have never seen a bug on it.
What is it?
I think it's broccoli.
Broccoli.
I don't know for sure, but it was actually so chewed up that I couldn't even get a picture to find out for sure what it was. But there's new leaves growing.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
after I'm keeping these chewed up leaves on there for sunshine purposes, but
Yeah.
I'll cut those off eventually and we'll have new leaves.
Let it do its thing. All right, so now we're going to go into, hold on, I got to ask, what is this?
It's my experiment. See how bare it is? I stuck this through the chicken wire and the chickens went nuts. And it was fun because I put it up high and they were having to jump up and grab the leaves to eat them. So it was fun to watch them jumping
So you
all
stuck
over
it
the
in the
place.
ground and you put some,
So I brought it back out here because I want to know if it's going to regrow. They pecked it clean. I want to know if it's going to grow new leaves.
so are these new
Well,
leaves?
guess what? It's growing new leaves. So this was literally pulled out of the dirt, stuck in the chicken pen, pecked to death, put back in a different kind of dirt, and it's regrowing. So this is the amaranth that I've been talking
So
about.
what is amaranth good for?
People can eat
Besides
it too.
chickens
It's
playing
like
with them?
spinach.
It's like spinach.
I've actually seen other prepper groups call it prepper spinach. I saw one lady that said she had a whole field of it that she harvests all the time. But it's there's a bunch of different types of amaranth, like 50 kinds or something. All of them are supposed to be edible. But if you have issues with gout, you're not supposed to eat a lot of it.
Not yet, but you never know.
These are where I tried to sprout stuff, or did sprout stuff, but I moved them into real dirt.
Got something in there.
These babies that you see are things that these are actually sprouted from seeds. I'm just not moving them out to the cilantro yet.
That's a cilantro?
The pepper and the tomato, I took out of the big ones, out of the bottoms, and put them over here to see if they would grow bigger.
That's a little cilantro?
This is a cilantro, that's a cilantro, that's a cilantro.
Nice.
But
I
don't-
love cilantro.
I don't want to move them until I feel like they're strong enough.
How deep? I guess right now for germinating, that's fine, right?
Look at that. That's a little germination. That's a flower.
Trying to get the camera to focus. Hold on.
It's tiny.
Yeah.
So in here,
Right there too. What is that thing?
it's another one, a flower. So I have to be careful looking through here. Look. I have so much different things that I've moved in and out of these dishes. I don't know what's still in there.
Well, the tomatoes look amazing since the last time we were in here putting, what, about a week ago? 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
We put the strings up, and wow. I mean,
We have a lot
what
more
a
tomatoes
difference.
now.
There is tomatoes everywhere. You look.
So I went through the bottom of this in between all the plants and pulled out the little tiny plants that were in there. They're not getting any sun anyway with the big plants shadowing over them. And then I moved them over here, or I moved them out there because I want to if they die, they die. They weren't going to.
Well, the little baby ones, they're not going to get any sunlight underneath all that, right?
So, yeah. My thought process is they're either going to not grow in here or they're going to die if I move them. So, might as well try to move them and see what happens.
Exactly. That tastes good?
It better not be a frog.
He's licking the end of that stick.
Ew.
I guess you had it in the ground or something. Very nice. I cannot wait to harvest these.
Where's the one that had the worm top?
A worm top.
Okay, see that? Remember that big fat green caterpillar?
Yeah.
This is what it looks like. Those caterpillars eat the hell out of your tomatoes.
They
literally eat the whole plant. And they eat fast.
So it must have mandibles on it that are just chomping away.
They are, and at the same time they're dropping babies out in the dirt and stuff. So you really have to check for those, and you have to check for them by getting down low and looking up. Because they get on the underside most of the time.
So there might be some in here right now?
They're really hard to see because they're exactly the same color as the leaves. But yeah, they could be, and they're very sticky. Very hard to pull
I'll
off
inspect these after we get done filming.
I found a few of those little black worms with the green stripe. They roll up in a ball if you touch them. So they roll up like that. I think those are the ones that go around the bottom and eat around the stalk, and your plant falls over dead.
So before we get to these, let's go over to these, which is another set of tomatoes, and they are also looking very nice. Ooh,
these have doubled in size.
Giant tomato. Look at that.
Look at these, how they start.
It's like super wide.
Look. So it kind of looks like that heirloom tomato, right?
Yeah.
The one we ate yesterday. These were small when we put the strings in. And don't you think they've like doubled in size?
Oh yeah, they're way higher now.
And
when we were putting the strings in, they were only to about right here.
I'm not saying the strings made all that happen, but the
combination
of giving them support, taking out the overcrowded plants,
giving them a structure to vine up.
And I also pulled the suckers off the bottom, which allows nutrients to go up to the fruit.
I wonder if we're going to have enough room in this greenhouse for these. Looks like they're starting to get right up against the...
Yeah, I was...
And if they do this, they might burn.
Is that another ball-faced hornet?
That's a bumblebee.
That's a different one. He likes that flower.
Yeah, it's a bumblebee. Okay, so now we're over to the peppers, which are here in the middle. And I see some very nice...
How happy this plant is to see me.
Very happy to see you.
So we have lots of peppers that are growing straight up. I think these are cayenne, so they're going to turn red.
You've got them marked as cayenne.
There was one on here that started turning red, and when I went to touch it, it fell off.
There's a dark green one here. Right here.
Yeah,
and
look
there's
at this
a little one back in here. Hard to see with the camera.
Look at this one.
Yeah, another little one right there. Yep, I see them back there. That's a different variety.
See, this is that plant that has the weird looking peppers on it.
What does it look like?
There's some down here somewhere. Here. Can you see down here?
Yeah, kind of. It's the camera. It's hard to focus because it's picking up other leaves.
So there's another pepper. This one's got lots of.
Oh yeah.
Pointing up.
Got five. Got cluster.
These
of five
are not
right
as
there.
skinny, so they may be a different kind. There's several varieties that point the peppers up.
And look, all these little buds right here are going to be peppers.
There's a couple here.
Here's a little itty bitty one. Whoop, what's on that?
That's just the flower bud.
Oh, that's how it grows?
Yeah. There's a tiny one sticking up back there.
Yep.
There's a couple. And
very nice.
Like these got, when I was sprouting them, they were germinating. I had them so organized
This one kind of
and labeled, and then we didn't have these things or enough dirt to transplant them yet, so
yeah.
I kind of just put them in different places where I could, and that's how they got mixed up. And
These might be ready.
now I don't know what's what. Well,
give them a few more days, but you're saying that they might turn red.
one of them started turning red, and when
Okay.
I touched it, it fell off. And the reason we didn't eat it is because it had some brown spots on it, which I think it was the brown spots caused by pH. So I put all of our coffee grounds in here, like with my hand, like sprinkled them around, kind of dug them in a little bit,
Yeah.
and watered it real good. And I'm hoping that fixed the pH for them.
Is that the honeybee? Or is that the, yeah, it's the honeybee. Or not the honeybee, that's a bumblebee.
There's a honeybee right there.
Yep.
Don't know what's over there, but
It could be lost. It's trying to get out. And gray days like this, cloudy days like this, it could have been here from yesterday, and now it can't find its way back home.
who's hot? Okay.
Do that bumblebee.
I did that quite a bit with things buzzing around in here.
There we go. And now the bald-faced hornet.
Some of them want to be in here.
This one here, the bald-faced hornet, is trying to hunt down other bugs because you know they eat bugs. They're meat eaters.
Well, let it stay in here then.
And as sure as you can see it flying around, just grabbing little ones as it flies. See the little ones? Watch.
Yeah.
It's gonna go after them. See right there.
Oh, I did see it. Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
It's not your pet. I guess they do crawl on people, though, don't
Yeah, they crawl on people. I mean, and I could easily pick that up with my hand, but like you said, it might sting, and stinging is one thing, and it kind of hurts a little bit, but it kills the bee. Now she might not find her way home anyway, because it's a cloudy day, and she's probably hadn't been home since yesterday. So
Well, when they break its wings.
the thing is, thousands of bees in our hives die every day, and thousands of bees are born. So
This is another place where it's like a nursery or something, like a baby farm. That's chives, and there's supposed to be like 1 million chives in here, and I got one. I don't know why. Yes, that's a chicken feeder.
chive. Are you sure you cleaned it?
Yes, I did.
Chive is an onion, right?
Yeah.
I think it needs to be deeper than that.
Well, it will be, but it's just barely sprouted. This is where the radishes sprouted, and I moved them out there outside. So there has been a lot of stuff sprouting in here that I've moved out.
That's the purpose of it, yeah.
These are flowers I'm waiting for.
Keep it moist and warm.
Sprout.
All right, guys, that was our tour of the greenhouse today. It is Sunday. It's a nice, cool day today. So we're going to probably work on the compost somewhere. We're going to build some compost. We got a bunch of pallets from town yesterday, and see what we can do with that. We'll film it, and we'll let you guys see how we do it. So anyway, thanks you guys so much for sticking with us. Please remember to like and subscribe. It's really, really important that we get those subscriptions up above 500. That's what we're shooting for right now. I know it seems like a small number, but for us, it's a very big number. And we really do appreciate it. So, Honeycomb Holler, out.